I find myself at times, I wouldn't say depressed, but when
Yeah, we don't say that here.
I get frustrated with myself, I groan quite a bit. And when you were talking about verse 31 in Romans chapter 8, it says, what then shall we say to this? If Elohim is for us, who is against us? I am.
Yep.
It dawned on me. I'm my own worst enemy. On most days, my groaning about things, I wouldn't say I groan most days, but most days when my groaning happens, I'm against me. I'm not setting myself up for anything positive when I do it. It doesn't benefit anything that I am doing, basically shooting myself in the foot when I do that. Instead of finding something positive in the situation, I can find myself really finding everything negative to pick it apart instead of trying to pick it up and do better with it. Doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's ugly. I'm against me in that moment. And that appalls me that I know better. I know that I'm serving Yahweh, that I'm doing everything in my power to be better and do better for him. So why do I allow myself to drag myself down in that moment? Because I wouldn't allow anyone else to talk to me the way that I talk to myself.
Sometimes it's easier if I know it's like a specific thing that I can kind of dig through to see why you're doing it and stuff like that. But just in general, first of all, thank you for bringing this out. Because I think a lot of people needed to hear, go in the mirror and you can say, I've seen the enemy and it's me, okay? Because some of you really do treat yourselves worse than anybody. You never let anybody treat you the way you do. And that's part of all the self-talk stuff that's taught by the self-development people, that kind of thing, is that, first of all, you're already self-talking, and it's brutal a lot of the time, and it's stuff that you would never really let others say to you, but you say to yourself. You got to get control over that voice narrative going on in your head. You got to get over that. But I think also there's a pride thing, a selfish thing. Look, please everybody hear this. Don't block it out because you're going to think it's not you, but it might be you. Some of you are, very, very generous. In other words, you will give, you will provide, you'll sacrifice yourself, quote unquote, but you are the most selfish people around because everything is still about you. See, selfish doesn't mean I have 2 items and I'm going to keep both for me and give you none. That's a different type of selfish. That's the selfish you all think about when you hear the word selfish. You think, I'm not selfish. I give you my stuff. I would provide for you. I give you instead of me. Yes, you're generous. But everything that happens, it has to be the way you want it or the way you see it, or even when you help people, you help them the way you want to help them at times. These are all things you're possibly doing because it's about you. And if you can get past that, you won't beat yourself up so bad either. Because you're judging you, just like you judge everybody else and you judge all the other things. And you have to get out of that judging seat. Stop judging everything. Allow it to be. I made a mistake. I'm not happy about it. Okay, let me learn from it. But no, I can't make a mistake. I must be a piece of garbage for making that mistake. And I need to beat myself up for that, like I do to my daughter or my son or whoever. I would do that to other people. No, stop doing that. Get off the judgment chair. Don't be so selfish, because you held yourself to some standard and then you fell short. Well, why you hold the standard up there? Maybe you're not even close to that. Hold the standard where it belongs, and so you're a little below that, fine. Keep pushing it up. But don't think you're over here when you're over here, and then you do something down here, and then you're all like, kind of loser am I? Well, no, you're just expecting more than maybe you should at this point in some areas, right? How about using the fruit of the Spirit and being kind to yourself, being gentle with yourself? Love on yourself. Forgive yourself. Because some of you you've been really hard on other people, so then you realize, well, I'd be very much a hypocrite and embarrassed if I didn't do that to myself, and then you really beat yourself up. What you need to do is stop beating up everybody. Don't beat up them. Don't beat up yourself.